I had a friend. This is going to be nothing to anybody. I'm going to tell a story anyway. So, Chat TV and Medicine Hat. Andre's going to get real happy about this.
Yeah.
Okay. Chat TV and Medicine Hat, which is where we're both from originally.
Oh, wow.
It's.
Wait, Chad, Medicine Hat? Do you know Andre from Medicine Hat?
I do know Andre from Medicine Hat.
Small town.
It is. It's 50,000 people.
They're all here today.
Yeah. The
80,000 or something now.
Is it that big? Oh, okay.
Some stupid number. Most
definitely-
everyone moves to Red Deer, though.
I don't want to get distracted by that. Chat TV was a local television station. Actually, we have a mutual friend who used to work for Chat, Scott, and Scott was one of the technicians who worked there. Now, growing up with Chat, you get very used to, like, for whatever reason, they were a CBC affiliate, and so all the CBC stuff that would play on Chat looked just fine. It looked like like you would expect it to. But if they did local news, it looked like Muscle Touch. Like, it looked like Fitspot. Really kind of grainy. The color balance wasn't right.
We did that on purpose.
Yeah, I know, right? They didn't. That it was just that's how it looked, and it always just looked like hot garbage for years, for decades.
Me too, man.
Thank you. And so, I was talking with Scott one time about it because he's like, my job was to show up in the middle of the night and to just ensure that all the stuff that was playing through the middle of the night would just stay on. You're just kind of monitoring tapes and making stuff happen. And I said, right? And he says, but you get talking with technicians about stuff, and they would tell you, okay, so you do this, and then you set the control boxes, like all the stuff that's back there, set it to this, set it to this, set it to this, and just make sure it rides around there. It's like, why? It's like, well, that's what we set it at. Never any explanation as to why it was ever done that way. And so I think he was bored one night and started looking at things or reading things, and he started realizing it's like, oh, there's a lot you can change here to make things look different. And he discovered
It's just been set wrong.
It's been set wrong for decades. It's been set to look like trash for decades because someone dialed that in at some point. They had since upgraded their cameras. They did all these other things, but the people who ran it, the senior technicians and stuff who'd been working there for 30 years, always dialed everything in at the same thing they've always done for their entire life, and that's why the channel always looked like hot garbage. And it was like, could you have fixed it? He's like, yeah, totally. Like, we could have changed it, but they weren't going to have anybody else take over, because these guys still have their jobs and still do things the way they expect to do them. So I couldn't tell them to do it any different. They weren't going to listen to me. I'm like, oh. And I don't know if anything's ever changed.
That explains so much.
Right?
It also is the exact mentality of every person who works in the industry in Medicine Hat.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like, we always did it this way, so that's always the way it's going to be.